All right, spoilers for chapter 1106, and oh my god, I'm not going to be able to confidently say this until I actually reread all of One Piece, but there is a very good chance that Egghead is going to be top 5 favorite arcs because, like, nothing's topping Marineford and Enies Lobby. Like, that's just not humanly possible. But oh my god, there's not much I love more than this. So we start off with a ship approaching the island, and they're saying it's just like they said in the newspaper. So that leads me to start thinking, okay, so they heard about this attack, the Buster Call from Big News Morgan. That means it is probably not the person that Vegapunk had called earlier. I'm currently I was working under the assumption that he had called someone in the Revolutionary Army just because we had just learned that he had a connection with Dragon around the same time as he made that phone call. But that being said, I hadn't actually ruled out the man with the burn scar, and that led me spiraling in full tinfoil hat that ended up making me sad. So the man with the burn scar opens up whirlpools to drag someone down under the surface. Now, it's me. Obviously, I want to connect this to the underworld. So I'm thinking either underworld / Davy Jones' locker, which is essentially the underworld version of One Piece. And I'm like, cool, maybe he's also got the Fourth Road Poneglyph, and we'll get it down there. Like, and my head was just like, let the Sunny sail the river Styx. And then, my heart and brain started yelling at each other and trying to make me sad, and it's like, no. Have them go to the underworld Davy Jones' locker, where the Mary is waiting for them to help them cross the river Styx to get them where they need to go in one final journey. That hurt my heart and soul. I need it. Alright, so that just made me want them to go to the underworld even more, because clearly the Mary will be there waiting for them. But no, so it's not related to the phone call that Vegapunk had made. The people who are coming to help got this information from Big News Morgan. We cut to Luffy, who has just eaten a bunch, and the Marines are surrounding him, saying, he's a warlord, get the Sea Prism cuffs on him, and then Luffy is waking up, he's at full strength, completely recovered, and one of them says, he digested that already, he could eat us next. Government propaganda, making this man sound like a monster. Angel, done nothing wrong in his entire life. Are you confusing him with Warple, who we still need to, he's gonna come into a bigger play eventually? Cut to Oda shocking me and breaking my heart and soul as Vegapunk is watching Kuma, Atlas, and Bonnie, and I think Sanji as well, all falling from the sky, and Kizaru the pacifistas going to attack them. And he's thinking, breaking my heart, the thought that kept him up at night that he could not live with was the idea that if Bonnie is a pirate, then the pacifistas will be ordered to attack her. And he could not live with the idea of her being killed by someone who looks like her father. And thinking to Kuma, he's like, Kuma, the idea of Bonnie dying by your hands is unforgivable. Cannot do this. So he tells Atlas to tell Bonnie a secret. Now, I had thought the necklace he had given her was some kind of override switch for the pacifistas, maybe a control chip, something like that. No. This angel had programmed the pacifistas in an order of hierarchy, and obviously the Gorosei Five Elders were at the top of who could command them. He put Bonnie ahead of them, ahead of everyone, to the point that he said, even if the entire world is against you, your father will always be by your side. Kuma will always protect you. So all the pacifistas who are clones who look like Kuma are all programmed to follow Bonnie's orders above everything else. My actual heart. So she orders them not to attack them and to help them escape instead, and they turn the lasers on the Marines. And I'm so emotional that I immediately went on an I hate Saturn rant, you're an idiot, because he's a man of science as well as Vegapunk, and he got all this ego. He's not going to let Vegapunk pull one over on him. It's not possible. He can't get anything past Saturn. Well, he got the kill chip past him, turned it from a bomb into just a shutdown. And look, now he's got Bonnie being ahead of you in terms of orders and command of the pacifistas. Some man of science can easily get something past you. Don't mess with Vegapunk. He's the true scientist here. But then, in my I hate Saturn rant, it turned into Vegapunk thinking, and I knew that this ultimate betrayal would come with a heavy cost. And we see Saturn using his spider leg to pierce through Vegapunk. Not instantly killing him, but very, very badly wounded. And I didn't see it coming. I'm an idiot. I didn't see it coming. But I'm not all that concerned, because in my head, Vegapunk's punk records, he's taken all his memories and information, and I would imagine who he is as a person. His mind and soul is everything's already been uploaded, so we just gotta save punk records. I think my only complaint is, Franky screams out for Vegapunk, and it's from, like, the back of his back and back of his head that we're seeing. Like, he's watching his technological hero possibly die, and I would have preferred that to be, like, a front, see the emotion on his face kind of view. Saturn then orders, Kizaru to, attack everyone. He goes with the light attack, and in my head, I'm still thinking, alright, Kizaru, he got some love for Saturn and Bonnie and all of them. There's still the chance he's playing this the long game. Like, he knows even if Vegapunk's body dies, we can get punk records, we can get Shaka or something like that his body's been broken, and maybe we can put a different head and technology all on him or some other android. Like, there's gonna be some way to get Vegapunk, even if it's not his body, alive and well in a cyborg or android or something like that. So he's not really going to let anyone actually die. He's on our side, really. And then the bastard comes to Bonnie and Kuma with the sword out and is like, I will kill you both with one swing, so you go out together. I will make it as painless as possible. You'll feel no pain. Oda has betrayed me, because I had hope. I like him being Kizaru being a cog in the machine. I was fine with that, but I had got my hopes up on this was all some kind of master plan of his. He had some kind of long-term game that ended with the people he cared about being protected and hidden from the government in some way. No, this completely ruined it. If the Drums of Liberation or something that happens causes him to switch sides later, fine. But it's not in this. It was never a setup. It was never what he initially planned. And that hurts me. So thank you, Oda, for the trauma. I feel betrayed. And thank you, Gear 5 Luffy, for coming in with a hockey fist and knocking Kizaru out of the sky before he can touch them. Protect Bonnie and Kuma at all costs. That's all I'm saying. Team Bonnie, 100%. Need her protected, the sweet child. So Luffy is able to knock Kizaru out of the sky. Good. But then we have Bonnie looking up, hearing him laugh, seeing him bounce around. He's turned the ground into rubber to soften everyone's falls. It's shaking the island, and the joyous boy that he is, Bonnie puts the pieces together after seeing him, and it's like, he is Nika. And Vegapunk, still bleeding out, is just like, yes, you see it too. So Bonnie and Kuma have both witnessed Nika's coming. The world will rejoice at his coming. And it's a beautiful moment, the look in her eyes. I love it so much. And then the chapter ends with the Iron Giant waking, or powering up, doing something in relationship to Luffy's laugh, which is beautiful. And the boat that is coming in, the massive, giant ship, is one of, for the Giants, Brogy and Dory, that we met back in Little Garden, that we've seen on Elbaf with Shanks, and fighting Kid. I am so happy that they are there. If this had been the Blackbeard Pirates, I really would have been pissed. And side note, obviously, we know Shanks was at Elbaf, but he had previously said he needs to go talk to Bartolomeo about burning his flag. If they bonded over the mutual love they have of Luffy, they could have went off drinking together in Elbaf, heard the news article, Shanks go off and do whatever it is he's got to do, and the Grand Fleet, the Straw Hat Fleet, will come with the Giants to save Straw Hat Luffy. Nika, I love it. I love it. But no, it is Elbath, it is the Giants, it is wonderful. But I have a lot to say about this because first, okay, where do I even start? Where do I start? Ohara. We're starting with Ohara because previously I had said that I thought the survivors of Ohara would be coming to save them. And I really did kind of just misspeak because someone pointed out, like, the only real survivor is Saul. And I'm like, yes, but it's more the idea, the spirit of Ohara, everything they represented. So they went through a Buster Call, and the government tried to destroy everything, tried to destroy their knowledge, tried to destroy the history they were looking towards. Their hopes, their goals, their dreams, everything about them was tried to be destroyed, but they failed. The dreams of Ohara live on through those of its teachings, of its people who did survive, whether it be doctors, scholars, archaeologists, people who trained on Ohara, who knew of them, who knew of their history, who knew the work that they were going for, who knew the importance of what they were doing. Maybe they trained on Ohara, maybe they just heard of them, but they were not on the island when it was destroyed. Saul, obviously, was the one survivor outside of Robin that we know about. But the dreams of an Ohara, its values and its teachings lives on in those who knew about Ohara, and they would not want Egghead to fall. The way that we they tried to destroy the knowledge of Ohara in the researching the past and the history, Egghead is looking towards the future, the progress for the people. If the Gorosei don't care about progress, the people do. So they did not want that to fall. So they were coming to help them. And we know Ohara's history, the books and everything, is stored on Elbath. So maybe their teachings have passed on to the Giants and anyone who comes to visit them. As well as any scholars or historians or anyone who comes to learn, who learned about the books being there. Now, do I think Brogy and Dory know about these teachings? Yes and no. First of all, they're coming for Luffy. They said they were coming for Luffy, but they specifically said afterwards, or should we call him Sun God? So they know about Nika, which means I would lead towards they know about either the teachings from Ohara, or the Giants have just been around so long that they know of this story, they know of Nika, they know this religion and legend and what happened. Now we're getting into time frames. Brogy and Dory are 160 years old. The Iron Giant is 900 years old, but it attacked Marij 200 years ago. So that's close enough in time frame. It's like within living memory that I think they might have a more first-hand, maybe second-hand experience on what happened. And they might know something about the Iron Giant, about the situations that was happening during Marijwa. I really think it's related to the Fishmen. Now, why do I think this? Probably tinfoil hat, but for once I'm going on a little bit more than vibes and a little bit more stuff that's actually happened in the plot. Please note, the majority of my tinfoil hat theories are just, oh, these are the vibes I like, and this is how the narrative can get to there, with very little backing of actual stuff going on in the story. I'm like, wouldn't this be cool and crazy? This time there's actually some things in the story. So, 200 years ago is around the time that they were working for peace kind of negotiations with the Fishmen. And then, 900 years ago when the Iron Giant was first constructed, it's also the time that Joy Boy was trying to raise the Noah with Poseidon, but broke a promise. So at Fishman Island, something happened to break that promise. We also have this random thing that I seen during my reread of the East Blue, where Arlong had said, and I went back and I got my notes from that video, Arlong saying that Fishmen have special powers bestowed upon them by the gods. So I'm wondering if there's a relationship between what was going on 200 years ago and Fishman as a whole, their strengths, the devil fruits being rejected by the sea because the sea sided with the Fishman. You have the Iron Giants coming and attacking around the same time as the peace treaty stuff that was going on. Or at least recognize them as people. There was something going on with Fishman and politics. And the raising of the Noah, it's all centering around that area. And I feel like it needs to be correlated somehow. I always figured for such a big part of the series where devil fruit users lose their ability to swim, the sea hates them. The one line that Vegapunk had said previously, it's just not enough reasoning for me, and I'd love there to be deeper lore explanation explored there. So that's all I got. I am in love with this chapter. I'm in love for what's going to happen in the future. It's going to break my heart and soul. I can feel it coming. I need Kuma to be okay. I have so many questions. I love Egghead. I can't wait to see what's next. I'm praying for an underwater island before we go to Elbath. But if we go right to Elbath, that's obviously going to be fine. I'm so happy. I love this series.